A woman pregnant with triplets walks into a bank. Suddenly, armed men storm in. A shootout erupts and she's hit several times. At the hospital, surgeons remove all but 3 bullets. Taking those out would risk the babies. She recovers, and later gives birth to 3 healthy triplets, 2 girls and a boy. Over time, the incident is forgotten. 14 years later, one daughter runs to her mother. Upset D. Mommy. Mommy, M. What's the matter, sweetie, D? I had to pee, and there was a pling. I found a bullet in the bowl. Don't worry. Honey, this won't happen again. A week later, the second daughter rushes in. D. Mommy. Mommy, M. What's wrong? I had to pee. Pling another bullet in the bowl, and don't worry. Dear, this won't happen again. Another week later, the son comes in, looking distressed. What's the matter? Wait, let me guess. You had to pee and found a bullet in the bowl, Snow. But I was jerking off when I shot the cat. A woman walks into a downtown NYC bank and asks for a short-term $10,000 loan. The banker asks for collateral. She hands over the keys to her Mercedes, explaining she's going on vacation and will return next week to repay the loan and collect her car. A week later, she returns, pays back the $10,000 plus $50 interest, and gets her car back. The banker says, "Thanks for your business. But while you were away, we found out you're extremely wealthy. Why did you need a loan? Where?" She smiles. "Where else can I park my car for a week in NYC? For $50. John and his girlfriend Mary became bank robbers. Mary went inside with the gun. John waited outside as the getaway driver. They pulled off several heists and even became folk heroes until they got caught. At trial, Mary was sentenced to 10 years, John to 2. But due to a clerical error, John ended up serving 10 years and Mary only 2. Despite her protests, John convinced her to keep quiet. Mary was released, but visited him faithfully every month, exchanging letters and calls until his release. They married, moved to another state, raised a family, and enjoyed a happy life together for decades. On their 50th wedding anniversary, surrounded by family and friends, someone asked Mary the secret to their long marriage. She smiled and said, "You know you've found the one when you finish each other's sentences." A teenage boy kept depositing $1 million into his bank account every day. One day, Mary, the bank manager, asked him where the money came from. "Boy, I won by gambling." Mary, no one can win that much money consistently by gambling? Well, boy, want proof. Let's bet $1,000 that you can kiss your eyes right here. Mary, what, no way. Okay, I agree. The boy took off his fake eye, kissed it, and put it back on. Boy, please give me $1,000. Mary was annoyed and determined to win next time. The next day, she challenged him again. Boy, okay, how about $3,000 so I can lick my ears? She examined the boy's ears carefully. They were real ears. Confident, she accepted. The boy took off his fake tongue and licked his ear. On the 3rd day, Mary said, "No more cheap tricks this time." The boy, "Okay, I bet you $5,000 that you have nipple piercings." Mary, no. She lifted her shirt, revealing her unpierced breasts. The boy, "Okay, here's your $5,000. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get the money." Mary turned around, looking confused, as all the bank employees were paying the boy. "Mary, what did you do this time?" The boy, "Oh, Madlab, I bet you each $10,000 that I'll make you show me your breasts." A woman walks into a bank to deposit $100,000 in cash. The bank manager decides to handle the transaction himself. While processing the deposit, he asks manager, Do you mind if I ask what you do for a living? Woman, I make bets with people. For example, I'll bet you $50,000 that your testicles are cube-shaped. Like dice. Manager, okay, I'll take that bet. Woman, all right then, let's take a look. The bank manager pulls his pants down, revealing two perfectly normal, oval-shaped testicles. Woman, well, it looks like you've won. But you'll have to wait until tomorrow so I can bring in my lawyer and make the exchange official. The next day, the woman returns with her lawyer and a satchel containing $50,000 in cash. Woman, before I hand this over, would you mind showing my lawyer your testicles so he can bear witness? The manager shrugs, drops his pants again, and shows them. Woman, just one more thing, may I feel them to confirm they're not cube-shaped in any way? The manager rolls his eyes. Manager, all right, go ahead. The woman gently holds them, and at that moment, her lawyer starts banging his head against the wall. Manager, what's his problem? Woman, I bet my lawyer $1,000 that I could walk into this bank and grab the bank manager's balls with absolutely no issue. Two Russians are robbing a bank. Everything goes smoothly quick, silent, no alarms. But just before leaving, one turns to the other, Russian one. What kind of robbery is this if no one gets injured or killed? Russian 2. You're right. Kill that woman sitting over there. Russian 1 walks up to her Russian 1. What's your name? Woman Sophia. Russian 1 turns back. I can't kill her. My wife has the same name. Russian 2, fine. Then kill the kid sitting next to her. Russian 1 looks at the boy. Russian 1, what's your name? Kid Billy. But everybody calls me Sophia. A rude man walks into a bank and says to the teller, "Man, I want to open a fucking checking account." The teller, "Offended," says teller. "We don't tolerate language like that here." Man, what's the fucking problem? It's not like anyone really gives a shit. The teller, without another word, walks off to speak with the manager about how to handle him. The manager listens, then walks over to the man. Manager, what seems to be the problem? Sir, man, there's no fucking problem. I just want to cash my $10 million lottery check and put it in this goddamn bank. The manager turns to the teller and says, Manager, and is this bitch over here giving you any problems, sir? A blonde walks into a New York City bank and asks for the loan officer. She says she's going to Europe on business for 2 weeks and needs to borrow $5,000. The bank officer says they'll need collateral, so she hands over the keys to a brand new Rolls-Royce. The car is parked right in front of the bank. She has the title, and everything checks out. The bank accepts the car as collateral. The bank's president and officers have a good laugh at the blonde for using a $250,000 Rolls as security for a $5,000 loan. An employee drives the car into the bank's underground garage and parks it there. 2 weeks later, the blonde returns, repays the $5,000 and 1541s in interest. The loan officer says, Miss, this has been a great transaction, but we're puzzled. We checked you out. You're a multimillionaire. Why borrow $5,000? The blonde smiles. Where else in New York City can I park my car for 2 weeks for 1541 and be sure it's still there when I get back? A man walks into a bank and steps up to the teller. Man, I want to open a fucking bank account. The teller, shocked, replies, Teller, I'm sorry, sir, but we don't tolerate that kind of language here. She walks over to the bank manager and explains the situation. The manager agrees she shouldn't have to put up with that language, so they both return to the man. Manager, what seems to be the problem here? Sir, man, there's no fucking problem. I just won $200 million in the damn lottery, and I want to put my motherfucking money in this motherfucking bank. Manager, oh, I see. And is this bitch giving you a hard time? Sir, never mind, I'm the fucking boss. Let's go to my fucking office.